Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And whether you're at home, driving, or even at work, we're always glad you're here with us. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and we have such an amazing show for you today. I can't wait for this discussion. But before we get into that, back with us is my radiant co-host, Sheila Applegate, who is a renowned conscious life coach and best-selling author with over 25 years of experience guiding individuals to their own conscious living and best life. How you doing, Sheila?
I'm doing awesome, Brian. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. We didn't talk about this offline, but I wanted to bring it up. You posted a little slice of heaven on your social media the other day. Was it a rainbow, like part of it and that kind of thing?
It was. We had the most amazing full rainbow outside our property. It looked like it started at one side and it came over, landed right in our thinking path. It was actually a double rainbow. It was so beautiful. I sent a picture to my daughter and she's like, Mom, that's so beautiful. It looks fake. I'm like, there were no filters. That was just my snap, like quick snap on my phone. It was so cool.
Man, I had to mention that today. I had to mention that today because I was just like, wow.
It was unreal. It was so vibrant. Yeah.
Absolutely it was. I was like, holy crap. I mean, and I guess, this is like perfect because this weekend, Sasha and I went on this beautiful hike in the Great Falls area, and that was glorious. Ended with a beautiful rain shower. I mean, we got soaking wet. And we were like laughing in the rain. But it was a great time. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Always, hey, if any of that, please share it with me and with us. I'm going to repost that one. I think I'm going to do that so people can see it. Great conversation today that we're going to be having. But it's from a different perspective with a beautiful twist. There's been a lot of talk in the news and other media about joy lately, but specifically joy and using it as an integral part of leadership, which I love. I mean, I love the fact that we're having this great discussion. But again, Sheila, there's like questions, right? How does joy work within a leadership environment? What if the people I lead aren't joyful people? Probably one that's going to be big is using joy even appropriate within professional settings? Well, everyone, back with us to help answer these questions and more is Halina Goldstein, who is a noted expert on joy. She's an author of many books, including Joyful Manifestation, Live in Freedom and Joy by Manifesting in Alignment with Your Soul Step by Step. And so, Halina, I want to say welcome back to Soulivity Today. So
Thank you. It's wonderful to be back.
I love that we're having this conversation. Again, joy, this feeling, this emotion, and this word joy is now coming to even more of the mainstream today. With everything that's happening, specifically here in the United States. And we'll get into that discussion around the campaigns and that kind of thing in a minute. But I thought it would be appropriate if we all start here with this specific question for each of us. And that is, what does it mean to lead with joy? And so, Halina, you're our joy expert and have written all these books and poetry about joy. What say you around leading with joy? What's it mean?
What came to my mind was that joy is such a rich feeling, and one aspect of joy is a sense of wonder, and it's it's kind of knowing that there is wonder, that wonder is possible, just like rainbows, by the way. And when you have that sense with you in your leadership, it changes everything. It affects the way we connect with each other, because there's an openness to something wonderful can happen, or something wonderful is happening. It changes the way we make decisions, because the decisions are with an openness to something wonderful happening. It changes the way we embrace difficulties, because the sense of wonder doesn't mean that you close your eyes and don't see difficulties, but it means that you have a bigger perspective, right? And so can work with things with the faith in something wonderful being possible. So this is like the overarching rainbow or idea that comes to my mind.
Wow. I like that. That's a great definition. I like that. What about you, Sheila? When you hear this word leading with joy, what comes to your mind?
Well, as Halina, as you were speaking, what I envisioned is leading with joy is leading towards something. Where in our leadership, as it has been in a traditional sense, it's often solving problems. In our marketing, we're always told to find the pain point, right? You find what's hurting people and you kind of twist it a little bit to get their pain point and then come in with a solution. And that's how leadership is sort of designed in the traditional way, I think. We're going to solve a problem, but that's focusing on the problem and how we can fix it. Leading with joy, I feel like it's beyond solution. It's like looking towards the future. It's looking towards it's leading towards something. It's the focus is on already living in the space that we want to create. It's being in that space now and allowing ourselves to live it, enhance it, and grow with it as we move forward, if that makes sense.
Right. Wow. I don't have much to say. But after that, so it's hard coming after you guys. It's like I'll say like ditto. I think that I what I will say is I think you both are really getting into the difference between what some would say is happiness and joy, right? Because in a leadership standpoint, right, where it's like happiness is fleeting, where it's like, oh, I'm going to give you an attaboy, right, or attagirl, that kind of thing, or something around like the work environment specifically, which can include joy, but it's just not about joy. It's like, I look at it as, what's the environment that we're trying to foster where people come to work energetically feeling validated, feeling that they matter, feeling purposeful, feeling the work that they're doing is purposeful, and that, yeah, you're going to have project against project, but energetically everybody is like, wow, when I wake up in the morning and I'm coming into this office, there's this feeling that I have, using your words, Halina, there's this sense of wonder, like, what am I going to discover today that I didn't know yesterday? And how cool is that, right? How cool is that I'm going to learn something new and that I'm going to collaborate with people who are at the same kind of thing. It's almost like, again, to use your words, Sheila, like that we're all on this playground and we're moving in a direction together, but from that sense, right? That we're all playing and enjoying our working lives together, moving toward wherever we want to go, you know. Any comments about that? I'll let you guys, you know. Sheila, I see you kind of leaning in.
Yeah. Well, I do love what you said, because I think that brings it down to the personal aspect in the leadership, especially when we're looking at a workspace. And I think that we have seen some trends where we understand that when people are nurtured in the workspace, when they feel a part of the organization, and when leadership includes them in a joyful way, in that wonder and in that self-care, that the innovation, the creativity is inspired. And in that, the work itself becomes more productive, more more creative, more inspired, and therefore everything is more joyful from that joyful place.
Right.
It's actually is the best way to get things done.
Right.
So it's logical. Wonder is logical.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the beauty of it? How wonder and joy, when you're using it in with because it's inherent, right? How everything else just kind of comes into alignment, right? I mean, Halina, you talk about this all the time.
Yes, I do. That said, I want to bring an example in, because I think we've seen it because we're speaking about work environment, and all of a sudden I think I've seen so many companies, just when they start something, there is that sense they create these environments where everyone is on fire, everyone is in love with the project, and they build it, and then maybe they experience success, and then they get more and more stressful. And that destroys the joyful environment. Now it's not joyful. Now it's all about achieving. So joyful leadership is also about, for the leaders to maintain their joy and their connection with that feeling, regardless of what happens. This is the only way they can maintain it for the entire organization. I know it's not what you asked about, but it just came to me.
No, I love that. No, but again, I think there's, you know, I was thinking about what you were just saying, and this image just came into my mind. Again, I love the movie Hidden Figures, because there's so much in that movie. And one thing that Kevin Costner's character, who was the NASA director, right, when he was talking about getting to the moon, he said, in my mind, we're already there, right? And so he was embodying not just the accomplishment of getting to the moon, but the joy and the celebration and the step toward, you know, reaching out into this universe and discovering something new, this wonder. He was like, oh, I'm already there. We just got to do all the details, figure out all the details around, you know, between here and getting there. And so that's the work. But we're all going to enjoy this feeling as we get there, that we're going to make it. And they did. They actually did. So great start, guys. I love this. I love this. I love this. Listen, we're going to let this, you know, sink in with people. If people have questions, please, you know, if you're listening to our live feed today, just post to our live feed and we'll get to you. But listen, we're going to take this quick break. But when we come back, we'll discuss how joy is currently being used as a unifying force in leadership during the 2024 presidential election season. So stay right here with Soulivity Today. We'll be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Book your luxury wine tour today with Old Vine Wine Tours and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. Old Vine Wine Tours offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Go to Old Vine Wine Tours /Wine in the Weeds for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code SOULIVITY to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your adventure today. No more pills to swallow. And with our month.
The following is a paid advertisement from Premium Weight Loss Peptides.
Welcome to Premium Weight Loss Peptides, your source for compounded semaglutide weight loss medication. At Control Your Weight Today, we offer the same active ingredients as FDA-approved drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, but conveniently dispensed as a dissolvable under the tongue. No more injections, no more pills to swallow. And with our monthly membership, your medication, shipping, and telehealth-related weight loss services are all included.
The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products has not been confirmed by FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Start your weight loss journey today. Visit us at controlyourweight.today or scan the QR code.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Dial 877-511-7277 now. That's 877-511-7277.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today as we are discussing leading with joy. And with our special guest, Halina Goldstein. Also back with me is my co-host for today, renowned conscious life coach and author, Sheila Applegate. Guys, there's a clip that I really want you to see, and I was trying to have it before. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. All right, here we go.
Disrespecting cat ladies, in a country where women say brilliant things in meetings all the time and no one hears it until the dude in the room says the same thing. And so, of course, we're mad, but we're also geniuses. We're also dope. We're also joyful. These things are not mutually exclusive.
And I want to pick up on that joyful thing, which is that one of the things that Brittany and I both talked about is that anger and rage can have a lot of different qualities. It can be destructive. It can be divisive. But expressed anger, especially at injustice and power imbalance and anger on behalf of making the world better, can also bring people together in communion. And what we see right now, the vibe shift that you talked about, there is this crucial thing happening, which is that there is no question that there is a kind of fury at what's at stake, motivating so many people, not only on the campaign trail, but the people who are organizing these calls. And yet that shared anger is bringing people together. What is being projected by Kamala Harris and Tim Walz on those stages is unfettered joy. The beauty of being able, the happiness of being able to envision a future that looks different from our past.
Woo! Okay, the video we just watched was from The Daily Show, and I think it really highlights this growing feeling of joy within people during this presidential election season. I know it's specifically within one of the political parties. Now let's get to the question here. I know in the recent past, many presidential campaigns have kind of used fear and grievance as like really powerful tools to get people to vote. But it seems as though the Harris campaign's message of joy is a stark contrast to those strategies. The question is and can this be a unifying political strategy? Let's talk about this. And Halina, I'll go to you first.
Oh, I absolutely believe it can. And the reason for it is because joy, at the end of the day, joy is what we always looking for. No matter what we choose, no matter who we choose, at the end of the day, we're looking for joy. We're looking for that sense of joy. This is our guiding star in everything we do, even if we're not conscious about it. So that we have in common. And I saw a tiny clip, I think yesterday or today, where Kamala Harris says, we have so much more in common than what separates us. And joy is that one of those things that we all have in common. What it means is that, yes, she speaks to people to agree with her, but true joy that is unconditional, is also given or offered to people that may disagree. And that is the unifying force, is that, yes, we can disagree about this and this and this, but at the end of the day, this is the feeling we all long for and need in our lives. So yes, I think joy can do that.
Wow. Thank you for that. Sheila?
Yeah, springboarding off what Halina just said, when I think of joy and fear and anger and fear is a vibration that is commonly used. It has been since the beginning of humanity, and probably even predating that into just the innate vibrations in the animalistic energy. But that fear and anger, if you think about it, it can motivate us, but it doesn't penetrate. If you feel that energy in you, it surges, but it sort of hovers outside of us. It gives us jolts, but it doesn't anchor, it doesn't flow. But when we're in joy, it's a centering, it's a movement that's steady, that moves us forward. And I feel like in our country and probably the world, we have been manipulated for a very long time by that anger as a force to control, by anger and fear to control us. And as humanity awakens, it knows that that is no longer viable, right? And coming out of years of that politically being a tool to separate, divide, and suppress us, in addition to the intensity of the pandemic, the global pandemic, we're exhausted, right? And so that joy comes up as that, let's see, we can see this window opening with this light to something in the future that our souls are longing for, something more. Now, some of us will still be addicted to that feeling of adrenaline that comes from the fear and the anger, but some of us are opening to that light that is there and saying there's something more to this. And I think that that's washing over the world. And we saw that in the Joy Keepers cafe that very first day after Kamala was announced, and she spoke and said that she, you know, when Biden had endorsed her as the next possible running candidate, we had the Joy Keepers Cafe the next day, and we start the cafe by saying, how does joy feel to you today? People from all over the world spoke about the feeling of joy as a sense of hope or possibility that they felt because of that announcement. And those are not people just in the United States. These were people from around the world who all had that feeling overcome them from that moment. So it's beyond politics. It's that sense of joy that entered into the arena.
Right. And I truly, you know, I know we've got to get to break, but
I'm sorry.
I feel as though, again, you say this is beyond politics. I know people will try to make this political. And I agree with both of you. It's not a political thing. It really is. Listen, the world needs this. The world, people are longing for living their lives from that place. And we're not talking about a place of just Pollyanna. We're really talking about a deep felt sense of security, of hope, of optimism. I heard someone say today about like the civil rights movement here in the United States, where people were saying we shall overcome, right? This is something that's going to happen, right? And that you can choose not to believe it or actually believe it, but this is going to happen regardless. And so I think that's what we're talking about here. Listen, we need to take a break. But let's turn this into some more practicals. You mentioned the Joy Keepers Network. Why don't we kind of bring this down into like our own organizations and how we're using joy to lead in our in Soulivity, at Joy Keepers, in our own kind of separate businesses. So we're going to take this quick break, everyone, and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today in just a second.
Are you a business owner looking to expand your reach and revenue to a perfect community? Being a Soulivity Today radio sponsor puts your business in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every week, and it's affordable too. For about the cost of a cup of coffee and snack each day, you can reach ideal people looking for your product or service. Soulivity Today is a weekly, hour-long program that dives into the heart of what matters most in our lives, the people, places, and topics that shape our world. It's the perfect place for your business to shine. Go to soulivity.com/Soulivity Today to learn how you can expand your business marketplace by becoming a Soulivity Today radio show sponsor. And for a limited time, special rates are being offered, so don't delay.
Addiction is an epidemic. Millions are struggling and over 100 lives are lost each day. Are you next? At Better Addiction Care, we understand the devastating impact of drug and alcohol addiction. Our network of treatment centers are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's time to fix the pieces addiction has destroyed. Our network of treatment centers offer detox, therapy, counseling, private luxurious centers, physical fitness, chef-prepared meals, aftercare, and your insurance may cover up to 100% of costs. Only you can put an end to your addiction. It's time to make the life-changing call and get the help you need. Call now, and in just minutes, you could be on your way to a drug and alcohol-free life. The call is free and confidential, and there is no obligation. Visit betteraddictioncare.com or call
855-246-4024. That's 855-246-4024.
Hey, welcome back to Soulivity Today. We are talking about leading with joy with author and joy expert Halina Goldstein. And back with me also is my co-host for today, Sheila Applegate, who's also an author and conscious life coach. Guys, let's talk about, let's kind of, reveal our organizations a little bit and how we do things, and how we're continuing to learn how to do things. Joy in leadership is an important piece of the work that all three of us do. I guess it's part of how we inspire, motivate, collaborate. Halina, you're a co-founder of Joy Keepers. The name itself denotes leading with joy. Give us, bring us into that world a little bit in terms of how you're using joy in leadership.
Yeah. In a way, we are a poor example because it's so obvious that we have to do that, right? Because maybe it's not obvious, but yes, we do want to, and we do walk the talk. And in essence, I think Sheila put it in one sentence at some point, because she said, whatever we do, it has to be joyful. It's that simple. And that means translating literally whatever we do into something joyful. It means when we speak of our vision, when we work with our visions, we've done a couple of joyful manifestation sessions around it, but also when we discuss it, joy is a huge part of it. It also means something in the way we communicate with each other, which we are both like, yay, we're going to have another leadership meeting because, which, I mean, in the past, I wasn't so crazy about leadership meetings, but it really is. We have a lot of laughs and wonderful open conversations. It is a very joyous space to be. It also translates into the plans we do and also what we choose to do and what we choose not to do. It's a very important criteria. If there's something, there are so many things we could do in terms of marketing the Joykeepers Network. And there's a lot of these things that we do not do because it's not a joyful activity for us, which doesn't mean that we're just avoiding life, because there are also other things that we do that are, for example, technical things like developing a website, like formatting a book. And then there is the individual responsibility with me, for example, to keep coming back to joy. Yes, this can be a tedious job, but it changes when I remember that this is for the joy keepers. This is to bring joy. I want it to be felt in everything, in the website, in the book, or whatever else practical we may do, or when we create workshops. It's in all aspects of it. So just keep coming back to joy. Keep coming back to joy.
What about
Sheila,
you, Sheila?
what would you? Yeah.
Yeah, let's say. What would you say?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Halina founded the Joy Keepers, and then I came in as a leader after it had been a co-leader after it had been going on, and it was an interesting journey because at one point I thought like, oh, am I messing this thing up? Because it kind of shifted because as I came in, the leadership changed and the projects changed because I was just like, well, is it joyful? And things kind of fell apart, and we were kind of like, well, let's not do it if it's not joyful. But from that, a whole new vision came forward, and it transformed and it changed. And I think that's part of it. It's not that the things weren't perfect as they were before, but sometimes we undergo changes and things shift, and things that were joyful become not that space anymore. The cycle of life goes through businesses, even nonprofits. So it gives you that freedom. And so sometimes following joy isn't the easiest option. Sometimes it means letting go of something that's very important to you. And sometimes, for me as the one coming into it, it's like, do I say this? Do I say like we're not in joy here, or do I not? Like so I guess just bringing in that idea that joy isn't always fluffy. It's a conviction when you're holding it. Right.
I'm so glad you guys are saying that, because I feel the same way about Soulivity. I'll just add to this that it's that joy. I think joy for me, and I think this is the same for you, for both of you. Joy is not like a bolt on. It's not like, okay, well, I've got this business, I have a business plan, and oh, by the way, I'm going to just bolt joy on the side of it. Both of you, like me, we try to live our life in joy. So that means as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as authors, as whatever, we're always trying to bring joy to the table. And again, it is a difficult role sometimes because joy brings up other stuff, right? It brings up, okay, you have to let go of things that aren't working. You may have to let go of people that may not be aligned with what you're trying to do. You may have to take different tacks where you thought you're supposed to go this way, and joy is like, is that really the joyful path? Is that really where you need to go? And so you have to reassess and change direction. And so, but ultimately, when you look backwards, you go, wow, I've really come a long way. And though it's been tough, it's been joyful. I've actually had a good time going through all this, even when I thought, as I was walking that temporary wilderness walk, I thought that it was going to be forever, and it really wasn't forever. It was for just a moment in time. And that's because joy was always there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so thank you for that. Thank you for that. Man, we have to go to break. But for those of you who have been listening and you're thinking, okay, the three of you have all these great things about joy. I think I'm ready to like use joy, but I have no idea what that means. I don't know what my first step is. Well, everybody, don't worry. Sheila and Halina, and maybe me too, have some great tips for you coming up next. So listen, we're going to take this quick break and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today in just a second.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Dial 877-798-5991 today. That's 877-798-5991.
The following is a paid advertisement from Premium Weight Loss Peptides.
Welcome to Premium Weight Loss Peptides, your source for compounded semaglutide weight loss medication. At Control Your Weight Today, we offer the same active ingredients as FDA-approved drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, but conveniently dispensed as a dissolvable under the tongue. No more injections, no more pills to swallow. And with our monthly membership, your medication, shipping, and telehealth-related weight loss services are all included.
The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products has not been confirmed by FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Start your weight loss journey today. Visit us at controlyourweight.today or scan the QR code.
Hey, we are still talking about leading with joy on Soulivity Today with Halina Goldstein and Sheila Applegate. Loving this conversation, guys. You know, this, I love this stuff. It makes me joyful. See what I did there? I know, corny, as Sasha would say. You're so corny and I love it. Let's talk about some tips for people in cultivating joy. So, Halina, as you always said, joy is inherent. It's like love, it's like peace, it is a universal constant. So there's no lack of joy out here. It's always available, like other things. What do you suggest for people to help cultivate joy in their lives and for leadership specifically?
So to start with the last part of the question, for us to be joyful leaders, we have to find joy in ourselves. We are the foundation. We are the beginning of the joyful spiral, we have joy in us. And one of the simplest and most powerful way to reach that sense of joy is through gratitude. So cultivating a sense of gratitude in our lives, we can start with feeling gratitude for a reason, and then we can develop a feeling of gratitude for no reason, simply gratitude for being alive, gratitude for nothing, for being here. That opens to joy. And so it's a practice. And by the way, we have many resources on our website with that help find this joy and have different joy practices. Because that's the practice, is to keep coming back every day and building that foundation of joy, and also noticing when joy is not there.
Right.
And then, I'm not in joy. Back to my simple practice of gratitude or whatever, or breathing joy or conscious joy, whatever practice you have. Keep coming back. And along the way, it becomes more and more part of us, and it begins to shine through us. And people notice it. And that's how joyful leadership starts. It's with people who shine joy, right?
Wow. Wow. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo. Sheila, what about you? What do you think? What are some tips that you can, what's a tip that you can give?
Yeah. So once you have cultivated that joy and you're aware of it and you know what it feels like and you've learned how to return to it, then the next step is to be authentic in every aspect of that leadership. And that is that awareness, that being true to yourself and questioning everything, right? Questioning those beliefs that tell you that it should be done this way because you learned it, that leadership is this, and going back to what's authentic to me and feeling it in your body. And if it's not in joy, if it's not in alignment to that authentic joy that you learned, how can you return to that authenticity, which might be going back to the gratitude, finding yourself back to that space where you can make an authentic step forward and be authentic. If you're a leader, then you want to be authentic with the people you are leading too, because they will feel when you're not authentic with them, and then they won't respect you as a leader, and it will be difficult to lead them in a way of joy.
Yeah. I love both of these. I really love both of these. I think too, that's part of this is there are times as a leader that and this is something that I'm still working on as well, and that is that you're never alone in your joyful journey, and that as you make connections, especially with the people that are part of, if we're talking leadership, the people who you're leading, there are times at which you can include those people in your space, especially when there's difficulties and challenges and that kind of thing. Because again, we're on this beautiful spiral upwards, and we're ascending and we're going through different challenges. And the reason why we have the challenges is because we need to do another breakout and experience even more joy and more happiness and more abundance and more prosperity, right? And so these things are coming up. Well, you can invite people into that space and not only share with them appropriately certain things that you're going through and certain things that you're doing, because that can also inspire other people to do the same, where you have this kind of beautiful group dynamic of everybody supporting each other and staying in joy, right? That you don't have to be the one that's always, the one that is just embodying this or in your mind thinking that it has to be a certain way, because others can also take up the mantle and be part of the organization, inspire too. So I think that that's another important part. But gratitude and other things that you guys are saying are, oh man, I'm still on my gratitude thing. I've been doing a 30-day gratitude thing for 6 months.
Why stop?
Exactly. Listen, thank you both for this great conversation. Halina, you already gave away a little bit of what we're going to be talking about in the next segment, which are these wonderful resources for people to stay in joy. So listen, we're going to take this quick break, everyone, and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today and our gifts from the heart. We'll be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Book your luxury wine tour today with Old Vine Wine Tours and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. Old Vine Wine Tours offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Go to Old Vine Wine Tours /Wine in the Weeds for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code Soulivity to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your adventure today.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Dial 855-486-4553 today. That's 855-486-4553.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity today. Hey, let's get to our gifts from the heart. Again, I'm going to have to create something around it, something that's beautiful, instead of me just like squawking. As we said before, Halina, you and Sheila have some really beautiful resources at Joy Keepers, and we're going to get to all of this. These beautiful things, including what's going to be coming up, a new book that's going to be coming out soon. Talk a little bit about this, Halina.
Oh, this book is like everything we talked about is both in this book and how it was created. So we started with this question: how do you live in a world of crisis? And then we reached out to a number of people, authors, teachers, healers, etc., and ask them to give us an answer to that question, to write a chapter in that book, and they have done so, and it's beautiful, beautiful answers, and also some gifts that they gave along with that, and the book includes some of those practices that we may need on our way to joyful leadership. And it's going to be free, and you don't even have to sign up to get it. We just want the book to go everywhere. And
Wow.
The energy around creating this book has been just lifting and lifting. Right, Sheila? It was like, it was amazing. Like, people are, they honor to be part of it. They love being part of it, and just expands. It's an amazing thing. And I think it will be felt. Oh, I can't stop myself. I get so enthusiastic.
This is great. I just want to really quickly too, because we mentioned Joy Keepers a lot.
Like,
I just want to remind people,
like, people are, they honor to be part
that this
of it.
Joy
They love
Keepers
being part of it, and just
is always
expands and
going on.
expands. It's an amazing thing. And I think
Every
it will
Wednesday,
be
I
felt.
believe.
Oh, I
Every
can't
Wednesday?
stop myself. Enthusiastic.
Yeah, and this one's coming up on August the 28th.
This is
great. At 8 a.m.
I just want
to really quickly and that kind of thing.
because
We mentioned Joy Keepers, and that it happens every month.
Right.
I just want to
It was
remind the third
amazing.
Wednesday, I think. Is it the third Wednesday of every month?
Fourth.
Yes.
Fourth Wednesday of every month. So I just want to remind people about that's something that is like really cool, something that people can really enjoy, and that kind of helps you on your joyful journey, especially like if you're a leader of an organization, or if you're just an employee or a single entrepreneur. It's a game changer. It really is a game changer. So thank you both for being here and sharing your light and your love and all this with this subject. I am really, really interested in the sustainability of this movement that's happening right now. I think that it will sustain itself for a while. And I think both of you have been instrumental in helping people see that this is something that's worth us really committing ourselves to. So thanks. Thank you. Thank you a lot for your light, your love, your expertise.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, everyone, running out of time. Just want to remind each and every one of you, hey, listen, we're on social media. We're on Facebook and all the other platforms, from Instagram to LinkedIn, to YouTube and Twitter X. Just do a search for Soulivity and we'll pop up. And so you can follow us. And listen, what will happen is that you'll learn about tips and you'll see clips and other information that'll help you keep inspired in living a joyful life. Also want to remind you hey, listen, we're on social media. We're on Facebook and all the other platforms. Let me do this real quick. To also follow our website at soulivity.com with all this fantastic information that's there, including everything that you heard here. You can learn more about Joy Keepers, I think, on our site as well. Also, there's this great new cohort with world-renowned educator Mark Mancolo, the Whole Health Healing System curriculum, where he's talking about blending Eastern philosophies with Western philosophies so that everybody can live a healthier, better life by changing how we view health. That begins on September 30th, so you can enroll today. Listen, running out of time again. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Soulivity Today. This is how we do it here on our show, where we are America's place for conversations that empower you every single day. Listen, keep working your passion and purpose. I mean, this is a way to do it. Include joy as part of that process, because it'll help move you through different challenges that may be happening in your life, and also make it even a more enjoyable process. So passion, purpose, and you're going to create your life of best quality living, your highest quality living today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted